Guys, this is Emmett Stallworth, the Alpha Builder, and you guys see that I'm at the college today doing my thing. I've been spending a lot of time here because I've been wide open on these job sites, trying to get things going and make things come out the ground. This video here, the name of this video is 3 reasons why custom build jobs or custom home building jobs are so difficult. And just in case you guys don't know, there are really 2 types of build jobs. And one is called the custom build, which the homeowner goes out and buy the land and they hire you as a builder to come out and build that house. And you kind of go with them through the entire process. And, once you get to the end, house is built, they move in. Then you also have the spec job, a speculative job, which is, that's when the builder goes out. You don't have an owner yet. You don't have anybody that's going to purchase that house yet. You're going to hire a real estate team or a marketing team. And you're going to go out as the builder and you're going to get the loan from the bank and you're going to put your credit out there and they're going to vet your credit and you're going to build that house. And in the process of you building it, you're going to market that house and hopefully somebody comes in and buy it. It's 2 different, is pluses and minuses on both sides. The custom job or the build job, we call them build jobs, that it's already sold. You don't have to pay interest on it. The house is already sold and you should know you're gonna make a profit. You should have enough built in your contract to make a profit. The spec job, a speculative job, you don't know. I mean, you're taking a chance and, hopefully your marketing team, if you got full faith and you got a good area that you built the house in and, you got a good school systems, etc. You're taking a chance, you're paying interest on it. So every month that you pay interest, that's that's money that's being pulled away from your potential profits. So that's the difference between the 2. So most builders like myself, I kind of do both of them. I have probably 1 spec going on, maybe 2 specs going on for every custom job I have going. And sometimes I can take the money from the custom job that I know I have the money in the bank, and I can use that money to help pay the interest until the spec job actually sells. But let me just we're talking about custom right now. And this is why, in some cases, so this is for you builders, guys. This is going to help some of you builders out. This is 3 reasons why that custom job in engaging with homeowners could be very difficult. Okay. The first the first reason it could become difficult is because, when the builder did the contract, they didn't put enough money into the budget to do the job. They didn't put enough money in the budget, or they didn't put enough profit. I'm sorry. They didn't charge enough for that job. Okay. And a lot of times, especially in the African American builders, a lot of time I see that they don't, they really trying hard to get the job because we're underrepresented, especially African American men. We're, for the most part, underrepresented in the building game already. You don't see a lot of African American builders out here. So we really try hard to get the job. And one way that we try to get the job is that we lower our costs in order to get the job. Guys, that's a big mistake. That's a big mistake because, if you're not charging enough to build that house and have enough profit to put back in order to grow your business, and you're going to fail on these jobs. Not only that, you got to have enough money to be able to deal with warranty items. And see, that becomes another problem. If you lower your costs because you're just trying to get this job, you're trying to get this, you really got to get this job. You don't have anything else on the back burners. You're not doing anything else, and you really trying to get that job, and you don't charge enough. How are you going to handle the warranties? What's going to happen when you miscalculate a change order, or didn't write down a change order, or something like that, and you had to eat some of these costs? See, when you're building, guys, you got foundation, framing, all these different items, all these different line items. I mean, house has over 300,000 parts, and you got a whole bunch of different line items. You got a bunch of different places that can go wrong. There's going to be balances and trade-offs all the way through that process. And in some cases, you might go over on let's say your excavation. You may have calculated it's going to be $10,000. You may end up being, costing $13,000 to do the excavation. And that's $3,000 that you done lost. Well, you might do the framing and make that money back up. So it's always a constant balancing act. The problem is, if you don't charge enough, you don't put enough in there for your profit, and you lose and you keep losing, and you start losing and you start tapping into your profit, you're not going to have enough money to do the warranty items. And then now you're going to look like a really bad builder when you can't go back, or when you struggle trying to go back to correct some of the stuff. Or better yet, it's a very disenchanting feeling when you're going back to do warranty on a house and you didn't make any money off of it. You're flat broke on. I didn't make a dime off of this house. That's not a good feeling. And see, you got to charge the going rate, guys. That's why I suggest you guys become part of the Home Builders Association. Engage with a lot of these guys that are actually out here building. Learn what the going rates and market rates are. Get that stuff, understand that, make sure that you're putting enough in your contract to get a profit. Now, also, you can, it depends on how you write your contract too. So sometimes if you write your contract as a cost plus, that saves you. That would really save you, because despite what you do with that house, you're still going to make your profit. Now, if you're a new builder, that's probably the best way to do it. You can do a cost plus, but a lot of banks don't like builders that write up cost plus contracts. The banks really, especially if they're doing a mortgage on it, or they're doing a construction perm loan, the banks really want that. They really want a contract to be a solid contract, a guaranteed maximum price is what they call it. Builders in today's market don't do that. That's just not a good idea, only because no one can really predict all the way down to the cent of what it's going to cost you to build a house now in today's. Everybody's changing it. The lumber guys can't even give me, a 1 month guaranteed price on lumber. They can't do it. It fluctuates and changes. It's all based on the market. So that one thing, if you don't charge enough and you don't make your profit, that makes it very complicated. And I'm telling you what else it does. If you're not making enough money, then you're going to be trying on the back end of that house. You're going to be looking at potential ways that you can save. And now the house is not going to look as good, because now you're starting to cut costs toward the end when you put the things that we see, the decorations and things like that. You're trying to cut those costs, and now the homeowner's not going to want to cut them costs. They're going to hold your feet to the fire. They want top tier stuff in that house. But you as a builder, you're going to be you're going to be seeking, and this makes it real easy for these shady jackleg guys that come in and sell you some stuff, and you know, you just might buy it from them because you're desperate now, because you're trying to save money, you're trying to make money now. So not charging enough is critical. You got to make sure that you're charging what everybody else is charging. Black, white, blue, green, doesn't matter. You got to make a profit on these houses, man. You just not gonna, you're not gonna make it. All right, number two. Number two is that as a custom builder, especially these, these one man in a truck type builders, which guys, I'll be honest with you, those guys' days are numbered, because things are just too complicated today. But organization, you don't have software, and you don't have the organization set within your company in order to do well. You can't, if you don't have any software, number one, if you don't have software, if you don't have building software that you have integrated into your company to be able to track things and keep up with things and actually communicate with the homeowner. They make web-based software now that can actually communicate with the homeowner. You don't have to be dealing with all that stuff. You can put all the documents online. They can go on there and look at the documents and things like that. The document needs to be tracking what you're spending every day. It could also help you estimate, make your estimating a whole lot easier. The more you build, the more you fine tune those costs. This also help you in getting your costs right as well. But just the organization side of things, man, if you're not organized, if you don't have, software to track things like change orders, when you're doing a custom job, one thing that you're going to run into a lot is going to be change orders. Now, change orders can make or break you. In most cases, change orders, back in the day, when I first started building, most of the builders, they made most of their money off of change orders, but you have to be keeping up with those change orders, and the homeowners who you're building the house for, they need to understand the whole change order thing. They need to understand that if you change something, you got to pay. But you got to keep up with those change orders, guys, and don't do a change order unless they actually pay or they sign a documentation that say that they're going to pay. That's the only way you need to do them. If you don't have documentation saying that they're going to pay for that additional stuff, don't do it, man. I mean, you should have some in your contract to say, hey, look, if you don't sign this right here, I don't have to do these change orders. Or if you're going to do them, you make them either pay up front or make them sign a document, say that they're going to pay, and you can push it to the end of the project. That's fine. The change orders can destroy you, but not keeping up with change order is the problem, because you don't have no way of organizing your whole system. This is critical, guys. I'm telling you, organization, purchase order, change orders, tracking the actual cost versus the budgeted cost of what you put on there. You better have some kind of way you keeping up with that stuff. You better have computers and stuff like that. And you better integrate everything into that computer. Daily logs, man. When you go to the house, you should be taking pictures and snapping pictures and maybe taking videos and uploading that stuff on a cloud so you'd have it. Software, man. I mean, cameras. Instead of my homeowners having to come out there all the time, I give them the access code to my cameras that I got out there on site, so they don't have to call me and say, "Well, ain't nobody showed up today." They can't. They don't have to go out there and not see anybody. I mean, they can just go on a camera and look at those things. So the organization, guys, and having some kind of way of tracking everything, software integration, that is another reason. If you don't have those things in place, this is another way to fail with a custom job. Okay. Number three, the last one, guys. It is what it is on this one right here. Spending too much time as the builder, you're spending a lot of time engaging with the homeowners. Guys, I don't care who you are. If you talk too much and you with somebody and you always engaging all the time, at some point in time, you will have a communication breakdown. Not just a communication breakdown. I mean, you're just gonna have you're gonna have a disagreement at some point in time. It's gonna happen. If you're the builder, in most cases, you need to have some form of blanket between you and that homeowner. And sometimes it's a real estate agent, and then sometimes it's a decorator. And I can go through a whole big thing about the decorator thing, man. But decorators, because you're trying to, as a builder, man, you really need to be focused on getting that house built. You got the scheduling, you got the money side of it, you got the production, you got the scheduling, you got the money side of it. That builder, especially if the builder and the truck guy, he's dealing with all that stuff. Then he got to turn around and deal with the homeowner at some point in time. He's like, man, let me do this right here. And not only that, if that builder's dealing with that homeowner a lot, that time could be spent scheduling, taking care of that. That's why I say that builders, you can't do this by yourself. You got to have a superintendent. You got to have somebody out here. Let them engage with the homeowner. You can be behind the scene and making sure things happen and going and getting the next deal and stuff like that. But you got to have if you're spending too much time with that homeowner as a builder, you guys are going to eventually not see things, not see eye to eye on certain things. And, the relationship just might get crossed. And it's hard, guys. It's really, really hard. Once that relationship goes south, it's hard to get that thing back established again. So these are the three things. Once again, guys, you don't budget enough. That's number one. Number two, organization. You don't have your whole system is not organized. And then number three, just engaging a lot with those homeowners. These things could really, really affect you, and just make it very difficult to build custom homes. All right, guys. Once again, like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. I just want to do this quick little video because I had this thing on my board to do, and I wanted to get it done. You guys have a good one.